Today we're going to talk about Wi-Fi on school buses. And I'm Erica Carrender. What is there to do on a bus when you have to be on it for an hour or more? Well, they're coming out with Wi-Fi on the buses. There's a school in the state of Kansas, Council Grove. They are one of the schools that is in partnership with Morris County, the National Consortium of School Networking, and Google to equip buses with Wi-Fi. This district is one of 15 that is working on this project. They are the only one in the state of Kansas. This is used for approximately 165 students. They are provided 4G service while on the bus, and 4 teachers have stepped up to be on the bus to be like mobile tutors on a daily basis. And they have filters set up so that the students have they're limited to what they can browse. And this also helps to cut down on the misbehavior from bored students, because they can get on the internet and play a game or something of the sort and not be bored and bother the bus driver. So there are requirements for installing Wi-Fi. It depends on the number of passengers on the bus. This also depends on the amount of people who can log on. They have to find the most reliable service for their area. They have to have reliable routers to run the whole bus that will allow the whole bus to have service. And they have to be up to date with technology. And how this works on the buses, they have certain routers to provide internet to moving vehicles. So they have to have these certain routers that are like 802.11p capabilities, which provides reliable internet access to a moving vehicle. To make things easier, some transport buses can use a modem with a SIM card if the router has a USB input. So if they have a USB input, then they can put the SIM card in there and they can use the router that way. The routers must have a strong signal, which allows all people on the bus to browse without strain. So you got to have a very strong network. And then there's unlimited bandwidth. And then with that, it allows if they're streaming something, then it's not going to cut down everybody else's signal strength. And then there's no passwords. They don't have passwords, so this allows for easier connectivity to the internet. Who does this benefit? And then what effects does it have on performance? Well, this benefits students who have to have a long bus ride, like to and from school. Some students are on a bus for 30 to 45, maybe an hour long to school, and they're also on that bus ride an hour long on the way home. And then if you put students on an activity bus, like if a band were to go on a trip somewhere, or athletes going to their games, this allows them to be able to work on stuff so that even though they're missing class, they can stay caught up on their assignments. So this allows the students to have time to do their work, which our band is going on a trip to Nashville in March, and so they will be gone some days during school. Well, they're going to be on a bus that has Wi-Fi. So if they have an assignment that is online, they will be able to work on their assignment so they will not get behind on their work. And you have a better completion rate for homework because this allows them to have a chance to do their homework versus, oh, well, can't ride on a bus, or nope, can't do it because I don't have Wi-Fi. Well, this would allow a student to be able to do the work because there would be Wi-Fi. There are pros and cons of Wi-Fi equipped buses. Some of the pros, it lets parents and family have more family time as well as recreational time. They can go out and do other activities because the students will have their work done because they have had the chance to have the internet or the Wi-Fi as they are coming home from school. And it bridges the digital divide because most things anymore have to do with internet or something to do with Wi-Fi, or you've got to connect to connect to some device to be able to do your work. It decreases problem behavior so that kids are not as problematic on the bus. They have something to keep them occupied versus just sitting there doing nothing. And it has the ability for the students to be able to finish their homework. So if they have a 30 to 45-minute ride home, if they have a little bit of homework, they can finish that on the way home. Then some of the cons to this are, I know they say there is firewalls set up so that students can't get on certain things, but these kids are too techie these days, and they have figured out how to get around these firewalls. So some of the cons are students on inappropriate sites, as well as they get on an inappropriate site and they're showing others this inappropriate stuff. And then parents can get upset because their students are being shown this inappropriate stuff without their knowledge. Here are some questions to think about. What is there to do when you are stuck on a bus for an hour or more? How would you feel if your school district were to participate in this program? So if your district had a chance to participate, how would you feel? Which of the pros and cons do you agree with, and explain why?